All right, folks, we should be live. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully your Wednesday / hump day / June 9th, which is a 6-9, haha, LOL, is off to a great start, guys. We're here to talk a little night baseball. If you can click the thumbs up button, it is mucho appreciated today. Let's talk about this slate, as it should be a good one.
Yeah, let's get after it. It's definitely an exciting and interesting one to break down for a 12-gamer.
I was really we talked about this one in the members only. There's a few things I'm really curious about tonight, real curious, and we'll see how it plays out.
It is a 12-gamer. I thought it was 10. It's 12er.
It's a 12 spot. It's a 12 pack. Anyways, guys, let's just give a shout out to our boys over at Drafters today. We will be running a group 5-pack contest here at 2 p.m. Central today. Welcome aboard to the new group members, whether that be you, Jones, Jason, Brandon, Sims. We got more people playing Drafters now. It is fun. We got a 12-game slate tonight, so we can run a couple starting pitchers. Guys should come play with us. It's fun. The link to the Facebook group is below. I will tag you in post. You just got to follow along and play with us. I will invite you to the drafts. We run them at a very fair price point, too. It's usually $10 a guy to get in. So, it's not big money, but it's enough that if you win $50, you're happy or whatever. But it's not, it's low enough money that you don't need to be a big money player to get in.
Yeah, it's enough where you feel pretty good when you win, but you're not super bummed when you lose.
Yeah, promo code DFS 5-pack. Give it a shout. Give it a chance. It is the best kept secret in DFS, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
All right, membership's available through the website. Sub to the station if you're new to it. So pitching is an interesting one today, but we feel relatively comfortable talking about Austin Gomber of the Colorado Rockies getting a good amount of projection love today, so it should be relatively popular. And quite frankly, when you're only 6K pitching in Miami for a guy who's got double digits and 9 of 10, it just seems like a cog in the machine type of play. It's great pitching park. He's been rock solid all year, with the exception of the start against the Giants, where he was not rock solid. He was, sink like to the bottom of the pool type of rock. Yeah, he was bad that day. Other than that, he's been very reliable all season long.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's just too cheap for his production in a good spot, in a great ballpark. I mean, he gets about as big of an upgrade as you can get going from Coors to Miami. Way too cheap. He's going to be popular. He's not a guy he's not a guy that's good enough where he should ever be this popular. However, the options on this slate are just so mediocre that he stands out at this price point. So I get just locking him in all formats.
6K is 6K, right? This is one of those things. If he just goes out and does his normal 15 points, okay, fine. Get some good bats. I can pay up on my other pitcher if I choose to. Just way too cheap.
Yep.
Next up, speaking of way too cheap, let's talk about one of my heroes from last night, Manuel Margot. Batted leadoff last night and homered, so let's anticipate with a lefty on the mound again today that he's probably back up in the leadoff spot. Only 2,900. This guy's got stolen base and home run upside. I assume he'll be pretty chalky if he's back up in that leadoff spot today. And quite frankly, Patrick Corbin, he looks washed. He looked like his nice career is coming to a nice end. Now, he could turn it around eventually. That's definitely possible. But at this point, he has given us very little in the way of buying signs.
Yeah, he hasn't looked good at all. We saw them throw another similar lefty last night in Leicester. Margot led off the game with a home run. Now he's cheaper. I mean, he looks like one of the better filler pieces on the entire slate.
Next up, let's talk about a guy that you want to bring up. Threw him on the cover today. I know you're vibing on the Yankees a little bit. So he hit a long home run last night at the end of the night. He's got 14+ in 4 of his last 7. And your Yankees are showing a little life.
Yeah, they're showing a little life. They put up 8 runs in the last 4 or 5 innings yesterday. In a good spot today against a guy in Dominic who can't strike people out. That's a big problem when you face the Yankees, because if you let them put the bat on the ball, you're asking for trouble. They got tons of power in this lineup. Andahar has 14+ and 4 of 7, as you mentioned. Big home run last night, as you mentioned. I like the way he looks right now. We know this guy is a much better hitter than 2,500. Haven't seen it in a couple years, but he's starting to show life, much like the Yankees lineup as a whole. And again, at 2,500, I think he's worth it as a one-off or in a Yankee stack, which I'm on tonight.
Next up, let's talk about potentially the greatest hitter in baseball right now. This guy might be the new Barry Bonds. Okay, that's a little bit of hyperbole, but Eric Haas of the Detroit Tigers has just been raking over the last couple of days. 7 for 16 with 4 bombs. Threw a double in there, middle of the order. So he's a guy, a lot of catchers bat in the 8-9 spots. So it's pretty common DFS practice. If you can get a catcher who is fairly priced batting in the middle of the order of a lineup, even if that lineup is god-awful like Detroit's, he becomes more desirable. He's just in a better spot for more at-bats, more RBIs, more runs, and stuff like that. This is nothing more than a guy on a hot run facing a relatively weak pitcher in Flexen. That's extremely affordable at 3,800.
Yeah, it's a little bit upsetting. Well, first off, I'll give the good part of this. So it's actually a really cool story. Haas is from Detroit. He's a local kid, and now obviously blowing up in Detroit. Pretty cool. Doesn't see that often. But the sad part of this is that the Indians traded him on January 8th, 2020 for none other than cash consideration. So we've read that book before. No surprise it's coming back to bite us. But yeah, as of right now, I mean, he just looks like he's locked in, way better than a $3,800 hitter at this moment in a good matchup. In cash games, just plug him in.
Yeah, again, if he was facing a good pitcher, we wouldn't be going here. And again, the price tag is really, really fair. He obviously has home run upside.
Yeah.
Not just the 4 that he has recently, but he's got 8 on the season. That's got to be top 5 for catchers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, all right, we'll keep on moving down the list. Last guy up for GPPs tonight, who for me, from a cash perspective, is also widely in play. I used him last night, watched him closely. He has been just squaring the ball up lately. That's J.P. Crawford of the Seattle Mariners, and only 3,200. 3,200, batting leadoff, hitting the ball well. What's not to like?
Yeah, you talk about cogs in the machine. I mean, leading off at this price point, locked in right now. Part of a Seattle lineup, I don't mind, especially if Casey Mize ends up getting more love than he's projected to right now. But either way, I mean, this guy, as I mentioned, cog in the machine, filler piece, however you want to call it. Crawford looks like one of the better ones of those on the slate.
Rock and roll, fellas and ladies. Hopefully you all have a wonderful Wednesday night here on June 9th. And we will see you guys tomorrow when we're back at it for NBA and talking a little bit more baseball.
Thanks, guys.